Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You'll hear a conversation between a car insurance agent and customer. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Mary Fox. I am a car insurance marketing manager here. What can I do for you, sir?
Oh, hello. I'm interested in buying some car insurance.
Great. I'll show you a brochure then. What's your name, sir?
Tom Jones. Just call me Tom. Easy to remember, isn't it?
And your current address in the UK, Tom?
It's Flat 1, Woodhouse, Wolf Crescent.
Wolf Crescent. Is that in the Surrey Quay area of East London?
Yes.
And what's your daytime phone number, please?
My office number is 020 7788 1212.
And could I ask you what you do for a living?
I'm a cafe manager.
OK. So can you tell me the engine size of your car, please, Tom?
It has a 2.0 litre engine.
Thank you. And the model name?
It's a Humax Dalton.
Could you spell the model name, please?
Yes. DALTTON.
Oh, yes. Thanks. And when was it launched?
It would have been in 2000, I think.
Lovely. Right. I presume you've had a previous insurer recently?
Yes.
Right. We need to know the name of the car insurance company you were with before.
Certainly. It was North Pole Safe.
Thank you. And have you made any insurance claims within the last 3 years?
Yes, 3 cases in 2005.
And what was your problem?
It was a broken window.
That's fine, Mr. Jones. Everything sounds fine so far.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at the questions 7 to 10.
And will you include any other drivers on the insurance?
Yes, just one woman.
And her name?
Jenny Orion.
Could you spell her full name, please?
Jenny Orion. That's JENNYORION.
OK, thank you. And what relationship is she to you?
She is my business partner.
And what will you be using the car for?
Well, mainly for business use.
Business use. Will you be using it for delivery?
Yes, always.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
And finally, when would you like to begin the insurance?
I need it from the 1st of February.
Right. Could I check the tick box on the computer now?
Yes, go ahead.
And that comes out at £700 per year.
Well, it's quite a bit higher than I've been paying until now, but it's just about okay.
Great. How would you like to pay? Cash or card, sir?
I'll use a credit card.
Certainly, sir.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You'll hear a tourism programme. Tourism Information Centre in Bath City. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 17.
Thank you for visiting the Elephant Tourism Centre in the city of Bath. First of all, we have various attractions to see in the Roman Bath city, and we'd like to offer plenty of information that you may not have thought of before. How about a tour of the city by bus? There are 4 main stations, from south to north. Stop A, Palace Gardens. Stop B, Pulteney Bridge. Stop C, Royal Crescent. And stop D, Queen Square. You can visit the main booking office at stop A. The first tour bus leaves at 9 a.m. and the last one at 6 p.m. There are also many good attractions you can see along the street. At stop A, if you have a break, you can visit the beautiful garden of the Middle Ages. It is like Rome. It's very close to the ticket box. You can also enjoy a concert in the centre of the garden. Stop B. Why don't you visit the Riverside restaurant with its landscape across the path? It is a place where you can sit and enjoy the spectacular views over the old hockey playground and ballrooms outside of the old buildings of the city. Stop C is the Royal Crescent, built between 1767 and 1774. It is a residential road of 30 houses, laid out in a crescent in the city of Bath, England. It was designed by the architect John Wood. It is among the greatest examples of Georgian architecture to be found in the United Kingdom, and is a Grade 1 listed building. Further along at stop D, Queen Square. The most exciting place to visit is the Roman baths, used for the buildings housing their public baths. After sightseeing, you can visit the Team Bath Spa, but you have to pay for that by the hour.
Before you hear the rest of the programme, you have some time to look at the questions 18 to 20.
Besides, there are city boat tours. 2 local tour companies give special services. The Roman Boat Company operates all of its tours with an audio tour guide service available in English, German, French, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Tours leave from 9 a.m. every 30 minutes. The boat departs from the Palace Gardens. Tickets are valid for 48 hours. Another company, the Best Boating View Company, is available with a live commentary in English only. Boats depart from Pulteney Bridge every hour from 9:30 a.m, with the last boat departing at 6:30 p.m. This service also offers refreshments free of charge.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You will hear a talk between a tutor and a student. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Good morning. I'm here for our meeting about creating lesson plans.
Ah, yes, bang on time. Come in and take a seat. Now, didn't I ask you to prepare something?
Yes, you did. You asked me to think of the possible uses for a lesson plan. Here's what I came up with. First, it helps the teacher with the pace timing of a class. Second, it creates a focus for the teacher and also for the students. Third, it shows everyone what material is being covered, needs to be covered, or has been covered.
That's particularly useful if you have a strict syllabus to follow.
However, there does seem to be a need for a balance between covering material and choosing when to let a class flow and let students carry on an activity if it's leading to learning.
Yes, that's certainly true. Anything else?
It gives clear aims to the students and to the teacher. I think it's worth remembering that there are two perspectives to consider in the learning process. It also serves as a reminder for teachers to put aims first and materials second, rather than vice versa. Those are the 5 I came up with.
I think that you've got the most important, the key points. I can add another 5. A lesson plan also helps to highlight potential student problems and creates an opportunity to find a solution. Second, it brings cohesion and coherence to a lesson. Third, it clearly shows the interaction between teacher and student, or at least the expected interaction. As we both know, lesson plans don't always go according to plan. A lesson plan also clearly shows something else, the distribution of time spent on different skills. This can really show if your speaking or writing class is really about speaking or writing. And finally, it serves to remind you what materials you have to take into class.
Thank you. I've made a note of those points.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at the questions.
Take a look at this incomplete lesson plan. Do you have any ideas about what could be added to each section?
Let's see. The students are at low intermediate level, and the lesson will last for 50 minutes. The students are academic ones, staying in Australia for 3 months to improve their spoken English. The aim of the class is to elicit reading comprehension and speaking abilities for storytelling, as well as to practice the present simple and the past simple tenses.
Can you think of any personal aims that the teacher may have?
Perhaps one could be to avoid excessive instructions.
That's a good suggestion. What assumptions would you make if you were the teacher?
I'd assume that the students could understand the instructions. The topic is extreme sports. Perhaps I'd assume that they do not understand some of the vocabulary related to those sports. For example, the difference between mountain climbing and rock climbing.
So that would qualify as an anticipated problem.
Yes, it would.
And what solutions would you suggest?
Solutions. Perhaps one solution would be to elicit the difference from students via questioning.
Yes, that would work. Given their level, the students should be able to provide some answers to that, using fairly basic vocabulary. At the bottom, you can see a list of aids: textbook, blackboard, chalk eraser, pictures of rock climbing and mountain climbing.
The pictures will help to explain the vocabulary. A picture dictionary can be very useful in such situations. By the way, when I write the name of any textbooks I'm using, would you suggest that I add some details?
You mean like the publisher and page numbers?
Yes.
I would certainly note down the page numbers. It's probably a good idea to add the author, but probably not necessary to add the publisher. Mind you, if other people are going to see your lesson plan, it might be a good idea, because they might want the book themselves. Knowing the publisher makes it easier for them to find it.
Do you recommend keeping lesson plans?
Having stored plans for years, it has become clear to me that no two classes are exactly alike, and this limits the potential for recycling lesson plans. However, one suggestion I can make is that you keep your ideas rather than necessarily the whole plan. These can be kept on postcards that are organised by topic, perhaps with cross-references for level, skill or structure, and then kept for easy access. This is really easy if you do it on a computer.
Can you recommend any books for helping creation of lesson plans?
My favourite book is Lesson Plans from Nothing by John Davis. You can get it from the bookstore on campus. If you're interested in knowing how others do their lesson plans, or just simply need a lesson plan now, because you have no time, try these websites.
That looks like a useful list. Thank you very much.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear a lecture. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
More and more American parents are becoming interested in having their children learn Chinese. This is not only a case of having their children attend private classes or of schools teaching the language instead of or in addition to the West European languages that are traditionally studied in the States, like Spanish, French and German. Oh no! Studying geometry can be taxing for any 10-year-old. But a select number of American schools, children are not only learning about angles, they're doing it in Chinese. This select number of schools is growing, since Chinese is a hot language thanks to China's surging economy and growing world clout. Even children as young as 6 are honing their Chinese at school, motivated by a mix of parental prodding and their own desire to do something different. I went to see one of these schools and it really is amazing when you walk into a kindergarten classroom and the children are understanding what the teacher is saying and it's all in Chinese. Half of the time, the kids aren't even aware that the teacher is speaking a different language. They just fall right into it. The United States has declared this year to be the Year of Languages, although few Americans are aware of the designation. According to a survey by the Language Association, more college students are studying foreign languages than ever before. Enrollment in Chinese has risen by 20% over the past 3 years. The 1.4 million students learning 15 leading languages represents a 17% increase over the same period. However, only 9.3% of Americans are able to speak a second tongue, compared to 52.7% of Europeans, according to the Census Bureau. At first glance, weighty national priorities take a back seat to the fun of cultural exchange at Potomac Elementary. Hallways are festooned with Chinese art and learning aids, such as stuffed animals labeled with Chinese names. Children sing Chinese folk songs and American nursery rhymes in Chinese. In the 5th grade immersion class, songs and games come only after a rigorous vocabulary drill and lessons on triangles and trapezoids, all taught in Chinese. The students are good at listening and do pretty well at reading, but writing is their weak point, according to the class teacher, who has a PhD in education and was a teacher in his native Beijing. I asked 2 of the children, a boy and a girl, about their experiences of learning Chinese. The boy said that mastering Chinese characters was tough. When I asked why, he said that he finds the writing particularly hard because you have to do the strokes in the right order. The girl said that learning Chinese is cool and that she is starting to catch on to the complex writing system of characters that contain elements of meaning and sound. She pointed out that it is quite different to English because there's nothing like letters to refer to. However, she noted that she can remember how to write Coca-Cola in Chinese because it has a lot of little boxes that refer to a mouth. This visual aspect of Chinese characters and how it influences children when they are learning the language is a theme I'll return to later. Even though it is clearly the parents who are pushing for more Chinese classes, my research revealed that they are not usually pushing their children too hard, which I think is a good thing. Parents of the kids say they are loath to plan careers for 10-year-olds. To quote one of them, "Even if my child doesn't use her Chinese going forward, she's learned so much about another culture." Some of the parents are encouraging their children, directly or indirectly, by taking night classes in Chinese. This has been proven to be a great motivator. If children see their parents learning something, they will usually take an interest in learning it too, or at least take a greater interest in learning generally. Dreams of selling Coca-Cola and other American products to China have helped drive the interest in Chinese studies. According to the Language Association, 640 US colleges offer Chinese programs, while 102 schools from kindergarten to 12th grade teach Chinese. Teaching Chinese is also of keen interest to the US government, which launched the National Education Program in 1994 to fund university studies of languages of key world regions, including East Asia and the Middle East. In 2002, the NEP announced that it was placing particular emphasis on programs to teach Arabic, Chinese, Korean and Russian. I spoke to some students who had just started learning Chinese here at this university. All of them had learnt Chinese since the age of 11, and some had started even earlier. Student A said he had started learning Chinese 8 years ago because he thought it would be pretty fun. However, as he began contemplating college, he recognized that there were good opportunities for employment in China upon graduation. As he said, China is expanding fast, and now they need services, including lawyers and business people. Student B said that she wants to follow her father and start her own business and have an office in China. Student C said that he thought his studies would bring national gain as well as personal achievement. To quote him, "When a lot of kids like us grow up and hopefully are able to speak Chinese and get a job with businesses who are trading and doing business with China, it will be a big leap for our country."
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.